What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, today I am here to give you guys my immediate reaction to the just announced UFC 327 card. Dana White finally went live after 14 hours of probably gambling at the fucking blackjack table with Steiny. And now we have the main event of UFC 327. Let's go for that. I come to win the belt, you know? Let's go for that. Yuri Prochazka versus Carlos Ulberg for the vacant light heavyweight title. That means, of course, that we're going to get Alex Pereira at heavyweight, probably versus Ciryl Gane. I would say UFC 328, if I had to guess. In May, we'll be getting Ciryl Gane versus Alex Pereira for the interim heavyweight title. Excuse me, the winner of that will fight Tom Aspinall because of all the eye surgeries. And now in Miami, there's just something about these fucking cards, dude. We've got a great main event between Carlos Ulberg, who is on a great run right now at light heavyweight. I believe he's on a 9-fight win streak. That's 9 fights in a row, bro. 9-fight win streak coming off the KO fluke win over Dominic Reyes. And Yuri Prochazka, who's bounced back from his last loss, which was to Alex Pereira. That's the only guy that's beat him at light heavyweight. And other than that, Yuri Prochazka has been murking dudes at 205. And I like this matchup, man. I think this is a great fight for the vacant belt. I know that if Yuri Prochazka wins, there's going to be some question marks of like, well, you know, the real champ went up to heavyweight. The UFC probably, I was going to say maybe the UFC wants Ulberg to win, so it's like a new legit light heavyweight champion. But let's be real, bro. If you have a fucking pulse, if you have male genitalia, if you have blood coursing through your veins, dude, if you crack open a white monster every now and then, you know that you want Yuri Prochazka to win this fight. And listen, we can go into the outside foot battle. We can talk about the fact that Carlos Ulberg's got great counter striking. We haven't really seen him be pushed on the back foot that much. And the one time that he was against Kennedy and Nzechukwu, he did get finished up against the fence. And I think that might favor Yuri Prochazka. I also feel like if there's grappling exchanges, Ulberg's going to be good. He's going to have good takedown defense. Yuri's not traditionally going to go out there and wrestle. But I feel like Yuri Prochazka can make this ugly. And I think he wins that type of fight. I don't think Carlos Ulberg is the type of guy that thrives in a brawl. That can either make you pay for trying to brawl with him like Alex Pereira, or, you know, that can sit down in the pocket and trade and go to war like a Khalil Roundtree, like a Yuri Prochazka. So I feel like Yuri wins this fight. I know that I'm very biased. I obviously have not forgiven Carlos Ulberg for colding fucking Dominic Reyes, but I'm rooting for Yuri Prochazka. I think he's going to win this. The run that he's on right now, there's something special in the air. He's climbing fucking mountains in Mexico. He's hitting up everybody. Yeah, you know, I'm coming to get the belt. You know, I have to improve upgrade the system, you know, and I go visit the village and I'm ready. Let's go for that. I love this main event. I think this is a banger fight. I can't wait to see this card because not only do we have this generational main event that makes perfect sense, and it's actually kind of a sigh of relief that the UFC saw this fight that we all clearly fucking want. It makes perfect sense. And they actually gave it to us instead of being like, what's the question? Yeah, we're doing Pereira versus Yuri 4. We're doing Ulberg versus Paulo Costa. How do you not do that fight? I'm glad they've actually listened to the fans and made very logical, good matchups because this main event is great. I love the light heavyweight division kind of getting a refresh now that Pereira has cleared out the division. He's finished the rivalry with Big Ank. He's moving on to heavyweight, and that's what we all want to see. And now we've got potentially Yuri as the fucking champ again, dude. Yuri versus Big Ank. Come on, man. Yuri versus Mirzakhanov. Right? Yuri versus Jan Blachowicz. We can get a Jan Blachowicz title shot. There's a lot of things I love about this. Obviously, listen, Jamal Hill's coming for the belt as well, but I love this fight. I am rooting for Yuri Prochazka. I'm probably going to pick him. I also probably will drop a video. I'm worried for Yuri Prochazka 2 weeks before the fight, but great main event. And honestly, you know, it's only fair that when I give the UFC shit when they deserve it, I also give them praise when they deserve it. They've absolutely cooked with this card. They've absolutely got in the kitchen and whipped up a masterpiece with this card. Where was this for 325, bruh? Okay? Where was this for UFC London? But you know what? I kind of forgive you. Because this card rules. Main event, Yuri Prochazka versus Carlos Ulberg. Badass fight. Yuri getting the belt back. We love to see it. Co-main event, my boy Joshua Van. This is such a great bedtime card, dude. We got Dominic Reyes here too. We got fucking Benil Dariush. We got Curtis Blades. This card rules, man. I love this main event, this co-main event. These are fights we've been talking about for a while. I do wish it was Manel Kape versus Joshua Van, but I understand that maybe the UFC put this fight together straight away after UFC 323 back in December, where Pantoja had a broken arm. Kape had not fought anybody in the top 5. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't deserve a title shot at that point. It was very clearly, oh, maybe we do Van versus Tyra straight away. So I understand why that's the fight. And I also did hear that Joshua Van was offered both of them, and Manel Kape, for whatever reason, said no. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the only complaint I have with this card. But Curtis Blaydes versus Josh Hokett, is it a goofy matchup? Is it a weird jump up the rankings for Josh Hokett? Yes, but at the same time, let's be real here, guys. When you're dealing with the worst division in the UFC, and you have maybe 5 or 6 people in this division that I would confidently say, yes, they could do like 40 push-ups and they could go for a fucking 5-kilometer run or something like that. Let's get them fighting each other, dude. Josh Hokett is one of the best prospects in this division. He's not winning this fight, by the way. I've made the call to Big Curtis. Me and Kurt, we've been chopping it up about the game plan. We've got a good game plan here. We're coming in with fresh. We've recovered from our injuries. We've recovered from the fight against Rizvan Guniev. That win is aging quite well as well. And I think Curtis Blaydes is going to absolutely destroy Josh Hokett by TKO inside 2 rounds. I think that it's going to be a fun build-up, especially at the press conference. Josh Hokett is going to sell this fight. And I think this is a good thing for Curtis Blaydes to get his name back in the top 5 and in that title discussion, because he's always right there. He's been in the top 5 for such a long time, kind of, you know, gatekeeping that title shot. Even at points where I felt like he was the guy deserving of it, he's always been kind of in that role of like, all right, if you can beat Curtis Blaydes, you can get a title shot. And I like this fight, dude. Josh Hokett's going to talk mad shit. He's going to build it up. It's going to be fun. He is an athletic, solid wrestler, decent power in the hands, but there's a lot of question marks there. I think that Curtis Blaydes is going to defend his takedowns pretty well. I think that Curtis Blaydes is going to outstrike him. I think that the calf kicks of Curtis Blaydes will be there. I think that the counter right hand will land. I definitely feel like Curtis Blaydes can either rock him on the feet and get a finish, or take him down, blob him, drop some elbows, and win by TKO. And this is good for the Curtis Blaydes army, that we get to fight an up-and-coming prospect with a big name, with some hype on his name, and, you know, remind everybody that forgot about the legendary Curtis Blaydes title run. I mean, this guy is 1-1 with Tom Aspinall. Don't look into it. Just look at Tapology, okay? Don't look at the facts. Just look at Tapology, okay? And we're coming for the trilogy. So I like that fight. I think there's a good chance either way that something entertaining happens. Josh Hokett gets blobbed, or Curtis Blaydes get fluked by Josh Hokett. That's either way, that's going to be entertaining. And I think that's the entire vibe of this card. The main card opener of Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker, someone's getting colded. They better make sure the doors are fucking slammed shut in the arena, because if a big gust of wind comes in, we might get a double knockout, okay? And I'm not joking, dude. This is serious shit. Johnny Walker's beefing with his brother as well, so there's a lot of elements going into this fight that makes it entertaining. I love that matchup. Beneil Dariush versus Manuel Torres. Yo, if you laugh, you go to hell, bro. Beneil Dariush, come on, dog. Come on, Benny, you just got chin, bro. What are you doing? Benny, come on, man. I love the UFC, man. I love watching UFC every weekend, and I love Beneil Dariush. You guys know this. I'm a big fan of Beneil Dariush. I'm picking Manuel Torres round 1 knockout. He's going cold. Why are we doing this to Beneil Dariush? Why are we not throwing him in there with Quill and Salkield instead, mate? Why are we letting fucking Manuel Torres beat up all these unks, dude? Why are we letting Manuel Torres fluke Beneil Dariush out cold into the Shadow Realm? I'm so sorry for what's about to happen to the Beneil Dariush army. We are getting chinned by Manuel Torres. We are fucked. We are getting flatlined. But regardless of how I feel about the matchup for Beneil Dariush, top to bottom, this is a fucking amazing pay-per-view main card. Can we just get this every month, please? I know that's too much to ask for with the Paramount era, bro, but this is a generational fucking pay-per-view. This is a great card, man. Top to bottom, I think this is going to be super entertaining. I think there's going to be a lot of finishes. And I also want to shout out what was announced on the live stream as well. These prelims are fucking insane, too. Mirza Khanov versus Paulo Costa on the prelims. Are you kidding me, bro? That is a great fight. I mean, Paulo Costa's getting slimed. Or whoever steps in when Paulo Costa pulls out is getting slimed. But that's a great fight, dude. Patricio Pitbull versus Aaron Pico. I don't think we ever got this fight in the PFL or in Bellator, so it's pretty cool to see it now at featherweight. It is kind of crazy that Aaron Pico got absolutely folded in his debut by a ranked opponent, and he's getting another ranked opponent again. I know that it's Patricio Pitbull, but come on, man. Can we get Aaron Pico in there with like a layup first and then go him versus Pitbull? I do think this is a fun matchup. It's not necessarily like, man, Pico is cooked. I don't think Patricio Pitbull has that type of power that, you know, he's going to knock out Aaron Pico cold. And I think Aaron Pico taking off the you know, decent amount of time that he has will come back decently well. He's super explosive. He's probably going to be able to grapple with Patricio Pitbull, maybe deal with some submission attempts, but he'll definitely be able to out-wrestle him. And I think if he keeps the striking, he's a little bit more smart. He can definitely win that fight by decision. I like that fight, man. Like I said, maybe I would have gone with Pitbull versus somebody else and Pico versus an unranked guy to get his confidence back, but I do like that there's a lot of ranked fights on these prelims. I like that all of these fights, they have some sort of name value to them, except for Francisco Prado versus Christopher Alvarez. That's like a fucking Zuffa boxing main event. But I know Francisco Prado. He's a little blockhead from lightweight. That's a decent fight. The rest of these fights are all good names. And I'm a little bit confused why we don't have Kyle Dorcas versus Vicente Luque anymore. But Gastelum versus Luque, that is the most you light my fire matchup I've ever fucking seen. Kind of a good thing, honestly, because one of them has to win. So I'm not mad at that. I actually think that's kind of a good idea. It's a random fucking fight, but it's a fun little scrap, dude. Top to bottom, we've got name value. Mateus Gamrot, ranked versus Ribovic. Finally, Ribovic gets a fucking ranked opponent. I was worried for my boy Ribovic when he didn't get the Moicano fight, but he's on to bigger and better things. He's getting Mateus Gamrot. I like that fight. I mean, that's a throw in the deep end to see, can Ribovic do what he does to these other guys against somebody trying to take him down and trying to hold him down? Will Mateus Gamrot fluke a 10-9 round when he gets dropped and then lands a takedown? You know what I mean? It's always a fun kind of, oh my God, who's going to win this kind of robbery scrap when Mateus Gamrot gets in there. Esteban Ribovic has had like 3 Fight of the Year candidates back to back to back. So that's a great fight. Top to bottom, I love these prelims. Cub Swanson coming back versus Nate Landwehr. That's a fucking banger. Kevin Holland's going to sell our parlays against Randy Brown. Like I said, man, I genuinely do not have anything to actually complain about, bro. I feel like it's so easy with these announcements to complain, and there has been plenty of things worth complaining about from the UFC in the Paramount era. I've considered making a video just talking about Paramount in general and just how, I don't know, how dead some of the promotion has been, how dead some of these fight weeks have been, and just some of the matchmaking that makes no sense. And some people were complaining about Blades versus Hokit, but I think when you're looking at the heavyweight division, would you rather see Blades versus Sergey Spivak? Like, does anyone give a fuck about Sergey Spivak fighting Blades? I don't think so. Same with, like, what are we going to do? Marcin Tybura versus Curtis Blades, right? Josh Hokit is a name at heavyweight now, coming up, got some hype on his name, got some social media presence, knows how to sell a fucking fight, make things entertaining. I'd rather see him get a chance than some Russian blob that doesn't speak English. Like, clearly the UFC feels the exact same. They're cutting every boring foreign fighter and just spamming these matchups where it's like, if this guy wins, we have a huge pay-per-view star on our head. So I'm not mad at it. I kind of understand the UFC's thought process behind it. And when I look at this card, like I said, there's nothing I can really complain about. Yuri versus Ulberg, great main event. Van versus Tyra, awesome co-main event. Winner of that versus Karpov Pantoja. Any way you slice it, the flyweight division is becoming one of the best divisions in the UFC. And Joshua Van's a guy that's going to be super active. So if he wins this, he's going to turn around quickly and fight either Karpov Pantoja, like I said. So that is a good thing, right? Blades versus Hokit. Boom. If Hokit wins, and I don't think he's going to, I think Blades is going to fraud check him. And that's going to be a funny, like, when trash talk goes wrong type of thing. Maybe we schedule a fucking tag team match, Jaden Cable and his boy Josh Hokit versus me and Curtis Blades. But, you know, that type of matchup, either Blades gets a big moment humbling this fucking big mouth, or Hokit beats a top 5 guy and we've got a new name at heavyweight. Maybe he's stepping right into that title pick. Dude, imagine a year from now if we somehow get fucking Josh Hokit versus Alex Pereira. What a silly world we live in, where that's a possibility. But still, it's exciting to me. It's intriguing to me. Dariush versus Manuel Torres. You're going out cold, bro. There's no intrigue. I'm not even going to try and... Dude, I know, man. Benil Dariush, dude, he might get a scramble off, dude. I think he's getting flatlined, and I think he's going to retire. And, yeah, dude, as soon as he showed up in the corner for Jeff Neal versus Uros Medic, I knew someone was getting sent to the Shadow Realm. Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker, that's another fight that's going to be someone's getting fucking flatlined. But all in all, this is my reaction. This is my early predictions, my breakdowns. for UFC 327. I think Yuri's going to win. I think Van is going to win. I already made a full video talking about that, ranting about some of those other UFC announcements. Make sure you check that out if you haven't seen it. I'm kind of surprised we didn't get any other announcements. Dana White said, I think he was about to say something, but then he said, oh no, I'll talk about the fight, the White House card this week. So apparently this week we are getting White House news. Apparently, according to Baldy White. That means Sunday fucking 11:59. Because this guy's gonna submit his fucking assignment finally. He fucking made us wait all day for this. But I think Prochazka, I think Van, I'm thinking Blades by TKO, I'm thinking Torres by Shadow Realm, and I'm thinking Dominic Reyes, low genuinely, bro. But great card, great prelims. I'm kind of surprised we didn't get a UFC Perth announcement. Apparently that's happening in May. I'm surprised we didn't get anything for UFC 328, like not even the main event, which seems like I said, I feel like now that's going to be either maybe Hamzat versus Imavov somehow. Now I'm very doubtful on that because they're saying he's injured again from going to the beach. This guy's fucking injured. Probably going to be Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane. I would love for that May pay-per-view to be Islam versus Ian Gary as well, but I think it'll be some big name fight like that before the White House, which will probably be Ilya versus Gaethje. But it seems like the White House card is done from what Dana's saying, so we'll see how that goes. I'll be sure to post a video as soon as I can when that comes out, but this is my immediate reaction, my thoughts on UFC 327, all the fights that got announced. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions in the comments down below, man. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate all the support lately, guys. You guys have been super cool in the comments, so I really appreciate that. Drop a like, subscribe. Go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bedtime MMA, and I will see you guys in the next video tomorrow. Goodbye.